In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best settings for Forza Motorsport here on Xbox Series X. These settings will work on PC. For PC, you're going to need to use the Logitech G Hub software. I recommend having the operating range at 900 degrees, sensitivity at 50, and the centering spring off. Just be aware that there is a current bug. I don't think it's been fixed yet, but there is a current bug. The last time I played on PC, there is a bug where the centering spring will not stay off. Now you can check if this bug is affecting you by going to any track using any car, turn the wheel, and if the wheel starts to center itself and go back, then you know you've got the bug. It needs to be off for these wheel settings to work for you. Now, to fix this, there's a way of fixing this. In-game, change your centering spring scale to 1. So centering spring scale to 1 while Logitech G Hub is running. Quit Logitech G Hub, keep the game running. Then in-game, change the centering spring scale back to its default. Open up G Hub and turn the centering spring scale off. This should save it. If it doesn't, you're going to have to wait for that update, for that patch to fix the bug. But it should keep it off. Should. That's the only fix that I've found to work. It should turn it off. It worked for me. It's now permanently off for me. The centering spring is now off for me in Forza Motorsport. And that's it for the G Hub settings. That's all you need to worry about. So for your wheel settings for the Logitech G920, these will work with the G923. However, I do recommend adjusting the force feedback just a little bit. Take it down maybe about 5 steps for the G923. But this is for the G920. As I said, these will work with the G29 on PC and the G923. But yeah, moving in to settings. For driving assist, you're going to need to turn steering to simulation. Gameplay and HUD, completely up to you. Have whatever you want. It's your choice. You're playing the game. Go and do whatever you want. Wheel. This is the button mapping. So if you want to change any of the button mapping, you can do that right here. Some people will like to change the brake. So you can change the brake from pedal 2 to pedal 3. You're going to have shifting set to manual and not manual with clutch. But it stops you having the issue with the stiff brake on the Logitech G920 brake. Everybody knows there's an issue with the Logitech G920 brake. It's not really an issue, it's a massive amount of a resistance when you're pressing down on the brake. So much so that when I hammer the brake, I'll actually move back in my seat. That is where you go to change your button mapping. Completely up to you how you want to set up your wheel. And obviously that brake and clutch pedal. This is it. This is the advanced wheel settings. These are the settings that you want. Steering axis dead zone inside, 0. Steering axis dead zone outside, 100. Acceleration axis dead zone inside, 1. I've just got that set to 1. It just seems a little bit better. It's more responsive when I press on the gas. That is it. Acceleration axis dead zone outside, 95. Once again, it's for responsiveness. It's just a lot better when I press down on the gas. I don't have to go the full 100 to get 100 because sometimes you won't press all the way. But it is what it is. Deceleration axis dead zone inside, I've got that set to 2. Once again, it's for the responsiveness. And the deceleration axis dead zone outside, I've got that set to 55. We know the issues with the brake. Now, if you've modded the brake, you can mod the Logitech G920 brake. There are videos for that on YouTube. I've not done that. There's no way I'm opening up my brake pedal, but you can do that if you don't like it. You can change the sponge in there. There's different ways of doing it. If you do decide to mod your brake pedal, I recommend going all the way up to 85 on this one. Clutch axis dead zone inside, I've got that set to 5. I rest my foot on the clutch. Just how I drive. Left foot braking, left foot resting on clutch. It's just how it is. So to stop any clutch pressing that I don't want to happen with resting my foot, I've got that set to 5. Clutch axis dead zone outside, 90. Once again, that's to do with responsiveness. I brought it down a little bit so I don't have to press it all the way down. Handbrake axis dead zone inside. Handbrake for me is the B button. That's it. That's the handbrake for me. So you're not going to want to change anything really with that. Same with the handbrake axis dead zone outside, 100. It's just a simple button press. Vibration scale, I've got that set to 30. Now, the vibration scale you start to feel the loss of traction in the wheels with this one. That is what the vibration scale will do. So when you start to lose the traction, you'll feel it in the wheel. So I've got that one set to 30. Force feedback scale, I've got that set at 100. If you go too low on the force feedback scale, you're going to get wheel oscillation. You're going to get what's known as wheel oscillation, where your wheel is just shaking. You don't want that. So don't go too low with your force feedback scale. Now this is absolutely amazing in this game. I've not known it in another game, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the only game that allows you to do it. And I'll come on to it later, but you can set force feedback based on the car that you are driving. You can specifically tune each car for its own force feedback and its own wheel rotation, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that Turn 10 have done this is phenomenal. Moving on. Steering self-alignment, I've got that set at 105. Now, your steering self-alignment too high on this one too can cause wheel oscillation. So with this one and this one, you do not want to be setting them too low or too high, because they can cause the wheel to shake. You don't want that. Mechanical trail scale. As it says there, so any of these settings, if you want to know what they do, there's a little description on the right-hand side up there. That tells you what each one of these settings do. Now, the mechanical trail scale is something that came to the games recently. It wasn't in the older games, and this is amazing. Raising this tends to give a smoother force, but with less fidelity. So with this one, you need to lower it to make the force feedback a little bit more accurate, but it's based on the individual. For me, the best one for me is 85. For you, it may be lower. And if you need to set it lower to get that realism for you, for the force feedback feeling better, go down in steps of 3. Trust me, steps of 3 just seems to be the sweet spot when taking this down, when adjusting this. Pneumatic trail scale. This is actually quite impressive. You can feel the grip limit of the car. You can feel when the grip limit is, when you're reaching the grip limit. It's really good. As it says there, this scales the pneumatic trail, the length of the dynamic lever arm from the moving tyre contact patch. Scaling this down will reduce the dynamic effects from tyre deformation. Road feel scale 105. This is the bumps in the road. You'll feel them. That's all that is. I've got that set at 105. I forgot to mention pneumatic trail scale. I've got that set at 120, and road feel scale 105. Load sensitivity, I've got that set at 80. This once again comes back to your tyre feel, the grip. Now, wheel damping scale. The higher you go with this, the slower this is. So when you've got that centering scale and the wheel wants to return to center, the slower. It just, the reaction of the wheel just feels slower. It slows the rotation. As it says there, this sets the resistance to the movement of your steering wheel. Larger values provide a heavy feeling, while lower values give a light feeling with no resistance. Now this, the wheel damping scale, take it down to 0 when you're drifting. Seriously, the last thing you want is this spinning slower when you're trying to catch your wheel to bring it back for your drifts. So centering spring scale, I've got this one set at 78. Dynamic damper behavior, I've got that set at 100. Steering sensitivity 50. Steering linearity 50. Those are my wheel settings for Forza Motorsport here on Xbox Series X. They will work on PC. Just make sure you get Logitech G Hub set up correctly and it's running while you're using the game. Don't just set it up and then close G Hub. Have G Hub running while you're playing Forza Motorsport. All good. All good. Now, if you have any better settings, let us know in the comments down below. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with some gameplay of me using the Logitech G920 for Forza Motorsport on Xbox Series X. If these settings did help you out and you enjoyed the video, a like would be truly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate the support. You guys have been phenomenal through my wheel settings videos. I can't thank you enough. Stay safe. Play awesome. So for those of you who are stuck with to watch the gameplay, what I forgot to mention was this upgrade and tune. This is absolutely amazing. You can tune each car for your wheel. And I'll show you how. So going into tuning, we have a steering wheel setting. This is amazing. You can check Go and check this out yourself. This is just, it's so good. Force feedback scale 100%. You may want to turn that down depending on how heavy the car is. With the Mustang, you're going to have to bring this down to about 80. Seriously, the Mustang is really, really heavy with those wheel settings. As for the steering lock range, this is your wheel rotation. Now, it's done it on percentages. What I recommend is, there are 3 different ones that I recommend. For road cars, so all just your basic road cars, I recommend setting this to 80%. This will give you 720 degrees of rotation. For rally cars, I recommend setting this to 60%. This will give you 540 degrees of rotation. And then for your fast cars, your F1 cars, I recommend setting this to 40%. This will give you 360 degrees of rotation. I can't praise Turn 10 enough for this. This should be in every racing game that uses a wheel. This is spot on. So if you are new to Forza Motorsport and you've come over from Forza Horizon and you're using your wheel, one tip I can give you is a throttle control, especially on races with fast cars, rear wheel drive, etc. Do not go heavy on the gas. On the bends, it's not a good idea. Oh, can we keep it clean? Can we keep it clean? Oh, we kept it clean. Can we keep the rest clean though? Probably not. Probably not. Trying to keep it clean. Oh! You're gonna turn into me? Oh, come on! Not good. Eh, it's a dirty lap anyway. The AI have a set path. The AI aren't very smart in this game. That achievement put me off. I'm blaming the achievement. Oh, come on. You're not one for getting out of the way, the AI. They're on a set path. Not good. Oh. Oh, you went into me, you Oh, well. Oh, car's going. Hey, we've got rewind. Let's see how far we can go back and correct that. Oh, really? Rewind further, come on. It's that back end, it just did not want to hold on at all. Going a bit too fast on that bit. Right. Take it slower. Better, much better. Need to turn that braking line up, it's distracting. Oh! The seat keeps moving back when I'm trying to brake. It's not good. It's not good. Obviously, don't sit on a chair with wheels when braking with the G920. G920 used to be set up on my proper racing rig, well, my play seat. But I took it off because now I've got the G923. Come on. Someone said that this feels like it's been made for controller. Honestly, they spent a lot of time with the wheel. The default settings aren't great, don't get me wrong, they're not the best. But I think they've set the default settings to apply to every wheel. There's like a default benchmark for every wheel. You've obviously got to go in and put your own settings in for your particular wheel. But this game is really good with a wheel. Really good. Sorted. That is that. As I said earlier, a massive thank you for watching. I'm only going to get better. I look forward to seeing you all in the next Logitech G920 wheel settings video. Stay safe. Play awesome.